What's up, everybody? And welcome to The Flex. It's your boy Craig here for another week of fantasy football. And we are so close, so very close to the season beginning. I could just smell it. And not so well because, your boy's a little under the weather today. Hence the shades. Keep the bright lights out of my eyes and keep you from seeing my eyes all squinty. With that being said, I had my draft. I had two of them this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And let me just tell you, your boy did wonderful. I did much better in the first than I did in the second, but I did very well for myself, if I do say so myself. In the first draft, it was a 12-team league. I got that number 3 pick. And I actually didn't write down my picks, so I'm waiting for my thing to upload and update, and once that gets done, I'll give you those picks. But on Sunday, if you happen to check out on Gym Bag Entertainment, Facebook Live, I went live so everybody could see me and my boys drafting our league. I got the number 10 overall pick. And I like to think that I did quite well with that pick. I started off in the first round, and luckily, even though I was a little afraid to draft him, but still, luckily, David Johnson fell right into my lap. I'm thinking better quarterback, better coach, better David Johnson. I made that mistake of drafting him last year, thinking he was going to come back from injury and just be incredible, thinking he was going to be the best running back in the league. But due to very terrible coaching, they did not utilize David Johnson in the way that he was supposed to be utilized. And this year, it seems to be that they think they're going to do those things. So if that happens, I could have the David Johnson of old back on my team and ready to make waves. And I took that risk because I had the number 10 pick. But when it came back around, I grabbed your boy James Conner. And I felt absolutely wonderful about this pick. It gave me a top-tier pair of running backs that, if they perform to their potential, could have me one of the greatest pairs in this running back this season. When it comes back around to me, I wanted to grab 2 wide receivers. But when I looked at the board, the 2 wide receivers staring back at me just didn't really have much flavor on them. I felt like if I drafted these guys, I would regret not going for the next 2 guys on my list. So I decided I was just going to grab a tight end. And when it comes to tight ends, there's no other tight end to grab than your boy, George Kittle. So I snatched him up with the quickness. Travis Kelce had already been taken. I thought George Kittle was not going to make it to me, but it turned out that he did. And so I snatched him up. And when it came back around, I'm still looking at these wide receivers like, you're suspect, and I don't believe in you, and therefore I cannot draft you. So what did I do? I went and grabbed my boy, Patrick Mahomes, giving myself hopefully a repeat of the number 1 quarterback in the NFL who threw 50 touchdowns last year and over 5,000 yards. Give me that repeat business, bro. Repeat business. So let's hope that pans out for me, because then my wide receiver game took a hard slump. Hard slump. My number 1 wide receiver, I took in the 5th round, taking the first wide receiver later than anybody else in the draft, and I grabbed Allen Robinson. And I know, he's not a top 10 guy. He might not even be a top 15 guy. And unfortunately, he may not even be a top 20. I don't know where he lands. I'd like to think he's in the top 20, but he was the best wide receiver available, so I had to snatch him up. It's going to be a second year with the Bears. Mitchell Trubisky is just coming along fantastically, so I'm thinking maybe, just maybe, another whole healthy year on the Browns, and my boy Allen Robinson is going to come back stronger, faster, and more dynamic than ever. That's my hope. With my next pick, knowing how rough my wide receivers are going to look, and there was absolutely no talent around me that was valuable at that pick, that number 6 pick, I had to gamble. I had to take the dice, I had to shake them up, and I had to toss them down, and they landed on A.J. Green. Now, I know what you're thinking. A.J. Green, he's got the injury. He's injury prone to begin with, and he's probably not even going to play week 1. I'm not worried about week 1. I'm worried about the meat and the potatoes. Now, yeah, he may not make it to the end of the season, but if I can boost up his value and then maybe trade him away, get a better wide receiver, package him up with, one of my other guys and see what I can get, that's what I'm looking at right now. I don't know what's going to happen, but that's what I'm looking at right now. And then I was going to just be like, let me just go trips, wide receivers. But all the guys I wanted was getting snatched up ahead of me. So I'm thinking, all right, well, might as well build up on that run game then. And who was available? It was Austin Ekeler. And, Austin Ekeler is a gamble, another gamble, back-to-back gambles, because if Melvin Gordon signs that contract, Austin Ekeler becomes obsolete. But if he does not and he pulls a Le'Veon Bell, which seems to be what everybody thinks he's going to do, I now have the number one running back on one of the most high-powered offenses in the NFL. So, yeah, it's a gamble, but it's not so 50-50. It's 70-30 in my favor, and I like my odds, and I like building up my run game, and Austin Ekeler was available, so I took him. But now, time to work back on that wide receiver game, and I actually like who falls to me next. It's the likes of Corey Davis. So Corey Davis drops in my lap, and I say, you know what? He's the number one wide receiver over there in Tennessee. They're building up that pass game. They got the decent run game. I'm like, Marcus Mariota put on a few pounds so that he could be a little bit more durable. So I'm thinking, you know what? Let's take it. Let's take him. Let's put him on the team, and let's see if he can bring us some numbers this year. He's building up a little bit last year. Maybe this is the year that he takes it all the way to the house. All right. So then, now I done got three running backs. I got 3 wide receivers. I'm looking at the board, and who, people weren't paying attention. It's round 9. Who am I getting? Kerryon Johnson. One of the most valuable picks in this year's draft. 9th round? How you going to get Kerryon Johnson in the 9th round? Excuse me, pardon me while I wipe. A little drippy. I got to grab Kerryon Johnson. It's a must. I have to have him. He's available. Got to take him. And, yeah, he's an injury-prone guy. He might not last the whole season. Hopefully he makes it through game 1 at least. But maybe I build up on his value, as well as Kerryon Johnson, package those bad boys up and trade them on later on down the line. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Now it's round 11, and, I caution against doing what I did, but it just felt right in this particular moment. People were drafting defenses. The Bears was gone. The Chargers was gone. Baltimore was gone, and it's 11th round. I'm like, you know what? The Rams is sitting there looking real pretty. Got the prom dress on, giving me the eyes. And I said, you know what? Come on over. Get on my team. So now I got arguably the best defense in the league, you know what I'm saying? And they're on my team. They actually added Clay Matthews. It's looking like a squad up in there. So I put him on the team. But now I still got to build up that wide receiver core. And I look down and I couldn't believe my eyes. I see the squad and I'm like, whoa. Nope, it's round 12, and nobody's taking Kenny Stills? Come on, buddy. Jump on the train. I could use you. Now, I don't think Kenny Stills is going to be a star, but I told you, my wide receiver core is looking suspect, and Kenny Stills was looking quite bright. There's not many options for wide receivers when you get down into the double-digit rounds. People are snatching them up. But Kenny Stills was still available, and I snatched him up first. Feeling really good about that decision. Come around to round 13, and I'm thinking, okay, I don't have a backup QB yet, and they're kind of going away. I'm not really liking all the options, but I see one, and it was Phillip Rivers. And what did I tell you about the Los Angeles Chargers? One of the most high-powered offenses in the NFL. So I said, get on the team. Join the club. We trying to win it. We trying to take it to the top. So I snatched him up. Now, I will admit this one thing. I didn't pay attention. And Patrick Mahomes and Phillip Rivers, they got the same bye week. It's not looking good. So what do I got to do? I got to find somebody who's going to be quarterback needy and is going to give me a good trade, maybe swap out quarterbacks or something, because I can't have same quarterbacks with the same bye week. So I did make an error in judgment. I think that might have messed up with my draft grade because I got a B-. I was expecting an A-, but I got the B-. But I'm still happy with what's going on. And then, round 14, I feel like I still got to build up the wide receivers. I told you my wide receivers are not looking pretty in this draft. Run game strong, tight end strong, quarterback strong, defense strong, everything strong but my wide receivers. So I went and grabbed Robbie Anderson. It's late, it's 14th round. Might as well, snatch him up. He's probably going to be the number one target for Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold coming in the second year. I think I like my odds. I think Robbie Anderson's going to turn it around this year. He had a great year 2 years ago, off year last year. I think this is the year with Le'Veon Bell running it, where the passing game is going to open up. So now it's round 15, and I want to get myself a nice backup tight end, and I figure, I just grabbed Robbie Anderson. Let me get his boy, Chris Herndon, put him on the team. Chris Herndon, you're going to say, oh, he's suspended 4 games. I got George Kittle, baby. You think I'm going to put Herndon in the first 4 games anyway? No. I'm going to play Herndon once the bye week comes up, and then I'm just going to drop him on the waiver wire while nobody's looking and snatch somebody else up in his place. I don't need him. I just need him to get through my bye week. And now it's round 16, and now it's the appropriate time for you to draft your kicker. And much to my surprise, in my league, people was doing it right. Nobody's drafting kickers early. So who fell in my lap but Greg Zuerlein? What? Number 1 kicker in the NFL last year? Number 1 kicker in the NFL 2 years ago as well? What? Come on. Get in the club. It's Team Craig. Jump on the bandwagon. We taking it all the way to the house. And now it's round 17. I got 2 more rounds left. We only got 1 more round after this, and I was like, you know what? I'm looking at all the papers with all the stickers on them. Looking at wide receivers, trash. Looking at the running backs, trash. Tight ends, I don't need a third one. Looking at the quarterbacks, I don't know. I put them down, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just grab them Texans defense, and I'll just have 2 defenses. We got a deep bench this year. This year we voted, and we went with 18-player squad, and I really like the idea of that, having a deep bench. And I'm like, if my bench is this deep, why not just grab a backup defense? And one of the top 5 defenses is just sitting there pretty at the end of the draft. Grab them up. Now I got them, and I could trade them when someone else realizes the defense that they grabbed sucked. So come see me. And then with the last pick in the draft, I'm not gonna lie to you. I actually drafted Lamar Jackson. Get me that 3rd quarterback. And then I was looking at my team, and I was looking at the waiver wire, and I think Lamar Jackson was actually better than this person, but Peyton Barber is the starting running back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I can't just let a starting running back sit on the waiver wire and let somebody else grab him up. So let me grab him, let me hold on to him, and let somebody ask me for him later on and offer me something pretty. Hold on, what's that? Got wipe again. Excuse me. So that's my team. I think I got a squad. Patrick Mahomes at the helm. I got David Johnson and James Conner. Rocking with Allen Robinson, David Johnson. Corey Davis and who's my next one? I can't really start AJ Green yet, but we'll say Kenny Stills. 3 wide receivers. I told you they was weak. Don't hate on me. But then, right back to being strong again with my tight end, George Kittle. And then I can throw either Kerryon Johnson, Austin Eckler, or Darius Geis in the flex. That's a strong flex position no matter who I put in there. Got my kicker, Greg Zuerlein. Got my defense. I can throw in the Rams or the Texans anytime I want. AJ Green just sitting in the injury reserve, waiting to get healthy, waiting to play. Chris Herndon on the bench. Peyton Barber on the bench, Robbie Anderson on the bench. It's strong. It's looking like a healthy squad for me. I'm very happy. I thought that my other team would be loaded up and ready to go, but it's not. So I'm just gonna read you off a bunch of the players that I do remember drafting. So I got that number 3 overall, and I got some news for y'all. I know my boy sitting in the in the booth watching the show, so he's gonna laugh about this when he hears this one. He's gonna probably maybe want to talk about it once we film our episode. But we did the draft on Saturday. My cousin Ira's draft. Shout out to my cousin Ira. And my boy brings his son to join the league. I think he was playing last year. His name is Bryant Harris Jr. For all y'all who don't know him. I'm put his name out there and everything. He gets #1 overall pick in the draft. So everybody's like, Saquon Barkley, easy. Maybe Alvin Kamara or Christian McCaffrey if he's feeling, saucy. Or if he ain't paying attention, maybe he even grabs Ezekiel Elliott. We don't know. But then he picks up the stickers, but he picks up the quarterback stickers. And I'm like, oh, he's all in on Patrick Mahomes. Homeboy's loving him, right? He's going to go on Patrick Mahomes. So I said, oh, you want Patrick Mahomes? He was like, no. I'm like, what? You ain't going Tom Brady. You can't go Tom Brady. No way you going with Tom Brady right now. He ain't going with Tom Brady. And then he says the name that he wants. And at the same time, I felt a moment of joy. And then a moment of embarrassment for him. Homeboy said Jameis Winston. What? You heard me. #1 overall, Jameis Winston. Let me tell you something. You could go a whole draft and not see Jameis Winston get drafted. A whole draft. 10-team league, 16 players per team. You could see that whole thing go and not see Jameis Winston go off the board. In some leagues, he might. But in most leagues, he'll still be on the waiver wire. Homeboy chose him #1 overall. Now, I'm #3. You know what I'm saying? I'm #3 overall. So, there's a running back I want. And when he said Jameis Winston, I was like, it's mine. I knew he was mine. I knew I was going to get exactly what I wanted. And if I didn't get it, the second option was going to be great anyway. So, but I can't. Jameis Winston. You watching in there. I know you watching. Jameis Winston, you laughing right now? Because I'm laughing right now. Jameis, I can't even get over it. Jameis Winston. Brian Harris Jr. Shout out to Brian Harris, his dad. Raised the son who would draft Jameis Winston, #1 overall. Oh, man. And I was right there to see it all happen. I appreciate you. And so that allowed me to get, at the #3 position, Alvin Kamara. Man before me chose Saquon Barkley. I think he's going to be overused. So I was exceptionally happy to get Alvin Kamara. Comes back around. I could not believe this. These boys was not paying attention. I mean, I saw some things happen in the first round of this draft that, first of all, Patrick Mahomes did go in the first round. That was crazy to me. I think I can't even tell you the picks that happened in this round. It was just mind-boggling. But I got Davante Adams. This is a 12-team league. I picked #3, and when it came back to me, Davante Adams is still available. Explain that. I can't. But I got him, and I'm happy. And when it came back around again, I know I need another running back. And I kind of was against drafting this dude, but I had to because he was the best running back available. But he's available he's going to be 100% on him till week 10. And then after that, you don't know what's going to happen. But I had to grab Nick Chubb. So now I got Alvin Kamara and Nick Chubb. It's looking strong. It's looking healthy. It's looking good. I'm not mad. And then with the #4 pick, same as my other league, I went ahead and I grabbed George Kittle, trying to get that strong tight end position. There's really only 3 guys that you can get that are going to get you almost every week in the double digits, and George Kittle is one of those guys. Wide receiver game, wasn't looking so great, but I did grab Tyler Lockett. Felt good about that. Tyler Lockett had an excellent year last year. I expect him to build on it again this year. He's finally falling into that #1 role. DK Metcalf's going to be there to take off some of the pressure, and they have DJ Moore. I'm liking my chances. And then it comes back around. It's the 6th round, and I decided I was going to take a gamble. I was going to take a risk that I felt at this point in time in the draft was worth taking. I didn't think I would get a chance to take this risk if it came back around to me. I thought someone would jump the gun. Now, maybe I jumped the gun, but I don't know. But I did go ahead and I grabbed Melvin Gordon. Because now, if Melvin Gordon comes back week 5, week 6, week 10, now I got Alvin Kamara and Melvin Gordon on the same team. Now, I also think there's a possibility that Melvin Gordon might play this year, but just not for the Chargers. I'm going to talk about that on the end zone later, so I'm not going to divulge my information. Excuse me again while I wipe. Pardon me, excuse me. But I grabbed him anyway. And then once again, I went back around. I rolled the dice again, and I also grabbed AJ Green. You know, I grabbed him in my other league. I got him in this league. I feel like that he's going to be a good middle of the season guy for me. And when Tyler Lockett's your number 2 wide receiver, AJ Green's worth taking a risk on. But I followed that up. Grab Josh Gordon. You know, it's the 8th round. I felt like that was an okay pick. I'm not mad at grabbing him in the 8th. I kind of feel like you should wait till 9, but what's one round, you know? So I grabbed him up. And then I felt like I needed a quarterback. I felt like a lot of quarterbacks were coming off the board, and I felt like this guy was really going to put numbers up for me. So, you know, I went and grabbed Matt Ryan. I actually was surprised he was available in the 9th round in a 12-team league, but I snatched him up. He has one of the most dynamic team of wide receivers in the NFL, and he has a run game that, if can return to form, could be could be a high-level run game. You know, at one point it was top 10. And we'll see what happens with that. After that, I can't tell you who I have because I didn't get a chance to write it down. I know I did get some good players. I will tell you this much, though. I will tell you this. I got my draft grade for this particular team, and I was quite impressed. It's the first time I ever received this grade in an actual draft. I got an A+. I got an A+ on this draft. Not only did I get an A+, but the prediction was that not only will I finish number 1 overall, but that your boy will go 14-0 in the regular season. 14-0? 14-0? I feel like if I go 14-0 when I win the championship, I feel like everybody should pay me $50 on top of it. You tell me what you think. When you watch my show, you chime in, you let me know. I feel like everybody should, if I don't lose, I feel like everybody should have to pay me extra for having not lost a game and won the championship. Money is not, the regular money is just not going to be good enough. Maybe I just win all the money. If I don't lose a game, undefeated season, winner take all. So I think I like that. What did I get for a defense in this league? I almost want to say I grabbed Jacksonville. That could be wrong, but I think I got Jackson. No. Yeah, I think I got Jacksonville. I know, actually, after Matt Ryan, I think I might have jumped the gun and grabbed Justin Tucker. I know I have Justin Tucker as my kicker. Absolutely 100% sure about that. Who's my tight end? Did I get Eric Ebron? I don't think I got Evan Ingram. Whoo! I got Evan Ingram in like round 13. What? Evan Ingram? 13? Bananas. I felt great about that pick. I could not believe it happened. I was like, what? Evan Ingram? How did I do that? Because I'm amazing. I'm an excellent drafter. And dudes was not paying attention. I know somebody drafted LaShawn McCoy in like the 3rd round. LaShawn McCoy in the 3rd round? What? How? Why? When? Where? What? LaShawn McCoy, 3rd round? Stupid. It was the worst pick I ever... Jameis Winston, number 1 overall. Worst pick I've ever seen in my entire life. Like that should get its own trophy. It should be like a dumpster dumping trash on Jameis Winston. Because that is just god-awful pick. What? Like... mind blowing. I feel like I'm just gonna in this league. I feel like I'm gonna run over it like a freight train roaring in the night. Like people are just gonna be like, "Oh, I'm gonna beat." Ran over. No victories against me this year. It's gonna be a slaughter in this league. So I'm gonna keep you up to date week to week as it progresses. Make sure that you're being smart and you're doing your research. Make sure you're paying attention. Get the app on your phone. Draft Punk or something like that. Get one of those free apps so you can keep track of the players and try to figure out, I don't know, do something. And don't draft Jameis Winston at all. At all. Maybe in the last round, that's okay. But we actually had a girl in our league We have one girl in our league. It was supposed to be a dude. It was supposed to be the champ. He sent his woman on to play for him because, you know, he needs a woman to win. And she came in and she left before the last 4 rounds. So we gave her Andrew Luck, Lamar Miller, Miami Dolphins D. And because 2 years ago when Spencer Ware was out for the season, she drafted him like in the 4th round. And it was hilarious. So we gave her Spencer Ware as well. So that was funny. We had a great draft at Hooters. It's definitely on my Facebook page. Gym Bag Entertainment or Craig Campbell. Check out the draft. Watch all the fun. I was talking a lot of shit because that's what I do. I love to get in people's heads and frustrate the hell out of them while we're drafting. If you draft live with me, I'm going to try to make it as miserable as possible because if you can't think, you can't draft. And I'm paying attention to what I need to be doing. So it was all good. With that being said, make sure you check out our YouTube channel, Gym Bag Entertainment. You got all of our shows on there, The Flex, The End Zone, and Tail of the Tape. Check out Gym Bag Entertainment on Facebook. You can also search it by at GymBagENT. And check out our Instagram at GymBag_ENT, Twitter, #GymENT. And until then, y'all have a great night. See you next week.